Okay, here we go. Last fall. A lot of trees. This fall. I don't know, is the color any better? A lot less tree, and this is the beginning of a bigger home base. Yeah, our home's going here. So first we got to get rid of a pile of limbs and leaves. Chip and tread, chip and tread. That seems to be our lives anymore. So the wife is with me this time. Get those leaves, shred them up. Okay. Put it away, and then the next day, take this puppy out. Get that bucket out of there. So I just have the grapple. Boom. Okay, let's do some grappling. So, I have a lot of branches out here in the middle that came from the left, the last bit of clearing I did. Instead of dragging them all the way over where we were chipping and shredding, I just dumped them here in the middle, figuring, hey, I can just use a tractor and move them over there. If we would have tried to move all this stuff by hand, it would have been an hour or more, probably. Or it would have been an extra hour or more doing it when we were doing it. And a lot more work, and we may not have gotten as much done. So here we have the overhead shot. I think I get a better bite on that. That's a big pile. So the only problem is that all those branches kind of interlace, and some grab hold of others, and I'm just dragging it out. There's a lot of branches in there. They just don't all make it to the chip shred pile in one go. So, oh, lost some of them. Oh, that's all right. I got a good chunk of them. Lost a few more. That's all right. Let's get him back over a little further. There we go. Yeah, moving those piecemeal, one at a time, two at a time. Have to get them out of that pile, or actually having to drag them originally, which the pile was big to start with. And I've been working on it here and there, and then we just finished it off with the wife there. Just keep adding to it here, put it back to where it was, so we can chip and shred this again, or not again, but so we can get it chipped and shredded, make this big pile into a little pile of mulch and chips. And you would think burning would be a lot quicker. Like, yes, it would. But we don't actually want to start a forest fire either up there. There's a lot of fuel on the ground. Haven't had any kind of fire up here since we've owned it. So there's a lot more fuel on the ground since the last fire has been up here. And we don't even really know what that looked like. We've heard about it. We've seen some trees that are basically toasted. There's one down in the viewing area that's burnt out. So we don't want that to happen again just because, like, oh, we're going to get rid of this brush. Well, we got a lot of brush, a lot of limbs, a lot of trees. So it's much easier to chip and shred all this stuff than to tend to fire. And hopefully it doesn't go anywhere. And if it did, then we'll be liable for all that cost of putting it out and the damage. So any fires we actually make are in a fire pit. Very controlled, very small. Compared to all this stuff, you'd like to imagine it'd probably go up like tinder, and then you'd have all these embers floating around. There we go, another pile. I think there's just one more trip going here. Now I did this all within a space of what, 5 minutes? 10 or under 10 minutes of moving all this stuff, which would have taken hours, either at the front of it or at the end of it. Okay. Didn't get all of it in one scoop, so I'll just get out here and add the small pieces that didn't quite get in there, or large pieces, into the grapple bucket, so that this will be my last trip out. And you notice I didn't speed any of this up. So it's all basically real time. So that's how fast the tractor's actually moving. It's not really a fast tractor, but it'd be faster than doing it by hand. Okay, now this I will speed up. All of that brush I just moved, we're gonna chip and shred. I think it took us, a little over 2 hours to get that chipped and shredded. As you can see on the ground, the shadow's moving. Well, that's the sun moving in the background, so. Look at that pile of chip grow. Look at the pile of brush diminish. Now that stuff has been sitting there for like 3 weeks maybe. So it's all brown and crunchy. And then of course it's dusty. You see the wind blowing it around. Especially the last piece we're putting in leaves only. Okay, we're done with that. And we're done with this time. See, there's the brush pile missing now. And all that color. So here's our view out the viewing area. A lot of those trees are all missing leaves now. But thanks for watching, and a lot of that stuff down in the middle is gone because I've been clearing that out too. That's next time. So thanks for watching, and here's the color that was there. And it's fall. Subscribe, like, leave a comment. See you next time.